Hi, this is a review of the orderIT trading system activity for June the 14th, 2021. We had 5 trades on that day. 3 were buys, 2 were short sells. First trade was FCEL. That's Fuel Cell Energy Incorporated. Tripped at 12:06 p.m. at a price of $9.80. It was a buy. It closed the day at $9.68. No rise in price at that level. So let's just take a look. 12. So roughly around this area. Let's see, 980, 81, 84, 88, 84, 79. Anyway, so almost an hour here after it tripped that it was above its trading price, so that's a positive, even though you can see it's somewhat moving sideways price-wise. And OBV, okay, it was up in the early afternoon when it tripped, and then it somewhat trickled down a little bit in the afternoon. MACD, it did come up and stay somewhat stable, a little bit drop, but stable for the most part. DI though, you see it came up in the early afternoon, whatever, and stayed up a little bit, but bouncing back and forth. You see heavy negative in the afternoon, DI wise, and see it was making a little positive. Bollinger Band roughly showing the same thing. So the stock technically was bouncing back and forth a little bit. It did look like it was coming back positive at the end of the day, closing time. Next trade is CZR. That's Caesars Entertainment Incorporated. It tripped at 12:03 p.m. at a price of $10.80. It was a 108.03. It was a short sell. It closed the day at 106.62, down 3.35%. So that definitely is a positive. Check the indicators. LBB shows it's showing somewhat of a steady drop, even though at the end of the day you can see it looked like it was bouncing back and forth a little bit. MACD, same thing, end of the day, late afternoon, looked like it was jumping back and forth. DI though, you can see DI is actually showing more negative than positive, a little bit of a jump up here in that point that we saw in the mid-afternoon, but then it came back negative. That stock definitely was moving down. Next trade is CCXI. That's ChemoCentrix Incorporated. Tripped at 1:10:05 p.m. at a price of $13.32. It was a buy. Closed the day at $13.17, up 8.13%, and it's up 4.02% early morning. So it did make a recovery, but it was down below its tripping price at the end of the day. So we'll see. 1377, 1375. Yeah, that being happened at the end of the day is where it dropped a little bit below its tripping price, but there was more, almost 2 hours of period where it was above its tripping price, so that's another positive. And we'll take a look at the indicators. 1310, 1310. Okay, OBV pretty much showing a steadily upward rise. MACD came up, a little bit of a drop in the afternoon, averages wise. DI was up for the most part, positive for the day, and you can see the end of the day where it was basically reversing a little bit, moving downwards. Bollinger Band showing the same thing. The end of the day there is where we saw where it dropped below its tripping point, so that's what happened. Next trade is DAN. That's Dana Incorporated. Tripped at 2:11:31 p.m. at a price of $25.64. It was a short sell. Closed the day at $25.72, down 2.32%. So it closed above its tripping price. So we have to see if there's any opportunity here. 231. 211. Okay, 211. So roughly around here, 25. it pretty much, it was that's that point there where price can't go below a point. Basically, it's a holding point. So it did drop down to that tripping place, but it was being held up. So that's not a positive, and it's unclear if it's going to be moving negative. OBV, end of day it's coming up. MACD, end of day coming up. DI coming up. Bollinger Band coming up. Yeah, that's not a possible because the indicators are showing somewhat of a sideways to upwards movement at the end of the day. So it's not showing a negative downward trend on that one. Next trade is HIMX. That's HIMX Technologies Incorporated. Tripped at 2:25:03 p.m. at a price of $15.98. It is a buy. Close the day 15.77, up 10.74%, and up 0.19% early morning. So stock did rise, but again it was below its tripping price. So 225, 225. So let's see here, 15.95. Yeah, it just again it was being held down by that tripping price. It didn't come up above it. In fact, it came down below it. But we'll see if the indicators are showing any kind of movement. OBV looks like positive. MACD at the end of the day was coming up positive. DI positive. Bollinger positive. That's possible. Okay, so that's all the stocks for the day, and there's 3 out of 5 that were positive, which is 60%, and 4 out of 5 possible. 60% positive and 80% possible. So not a bad thing. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.